In this video, we're going to be looking at deductions which can be made from a worker's gross pay. Firstly, income tax is deducted. Most employees pay income tax through the pay-as-you-go system, commonly called the PAYG system. Each pay period, deductions are made from an employee's pay by the employer and forwarded to the Australian Taxation Office, or the ATO. Other deductions which can be made from a person's pay are for such things as union fees, private health, or superannuation, to name a few. In this video, though, we're going to focus on the tax which is deducted by the employer each pay. This tax is referred to as the tax withheld. We're going to go to the official ATO website and use the tax withheld calculator. As you can see, the first thing that you'll come to when you go into click on the link is the slide here which says tax withheld calculator. And so this calculator is used by employers to make sure that they are taking out the correct amount of tax. So in most cases, the employer will go to the individual non-business calculator. When the calculator calculates the amount of tax that has to be deducted from a worker's pay, it takes into account the following items: the current income tax rates. Most people who earn a certain amount of money will have to pay the full Medicare levy, so it calculates this. The temporary budget repair levy is a new levy which the recent budget provides for, and that's a levy or a tax that people who earn over $180,000 a year have to pay. The calculation also takes into account if someone has a HECS debt, now known as a Higher Education Loan Program, whether the person is an Australian resident, whether they've claimed the tax-free threshold, and any tax offset entitlements. These items we'll discuss further when we look at our next unit on taxation. So the next part we come to is actually working out the calculation. So before we do that, we have to answer some questions. We can put in the payee's name. However, you can see there that it is only optional. We're just going to do a very simple case scenario for our first attempt. So, has the payee provided a tax file number? We're going to say yes. If the payee has not provided a tax file number, is the payee exempt? So no. Is the payee an Australian resident? So we're going to say yes. And has the payee claimed the tax-free threshold? So we're going to say yes to that one as well. So this section asks questions concerning the Medicare levy. So is the payee claiming exemption from the levy? No. The payee claiming reduced amount of levy? No. Does the payee have a spouse? So for our example, we're going to say no this time. And is the combined weekly income of payee and payee spouse, etc., etc.? So we're going to say no to that one. And for our example, we're going to say that this person has no dependent children. So we go to the next section, and there's just a couple of extra questions Does the pay have an accumulated higher education loan program? So we're going to say no. And does the pay have an accumulated financial supplement debt? And so we're going to say no. So we're going to decide that the pay receives their payments weekly. You can see that there's a drop down menu there, which you can adjust to fortnightly and monthly payments. And we're just going to say that the gross earnings for this period, for the weekly, so this person gets paid $780 per week. Then we click on the calculate button. There, and we're ready to calculate. So if we were writing down an answer to a question, our setting out would be net pay equals gross pay minus tax withheld. So that equals $780 minus $106. So our net pay would be $674. So now you can go ahead and answer the questions in the online tax calculator activity. The link is in your checklist, and there are different scenarios. You'll have different answers to the questions on the taxation calculator to answer. Good luck with that.